And this second game features the University of North Alabama Lions against the Fort Hays State Tigers. Hi and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jim Couch alongside his coach Bob Valvano, and welcome to downtown Louisville, the Commonwealth Convention Center, and the NCAA Division II Elite Eight. This second game of the day features Fort Hays State, the number one ranked team in the country, against North Alabama. And Coach Bob Valvano, what a real contrast this game presents for us.
Well, it really does. We've already had one dramatic upset today. The number 3 team nationally has already been ousted in the first round. Alabama A&M goes down to California, PA. So certainly North Alabama has to feel good about their chances, but this is a terrific Fort Hays team, and they're going to have their hands full today.
Undefeated, and you just don't see that. There aren't any other undefeated teams in college basketball left other than this team. They've got a good inside-outside game.
Well, everybody at Fort Hays knows that. Of course, they got 4 guys in double figures, but really, when you think about inside-outside, you think about Alonzo Goldston, the 6'9 center, inside, and Jeff Eck, the senior from Wichita, outside. Those 2 guys are really the engine that drives the train inside and outside. But this is a deep team, 4 deep in double figures. They got some players all across the board.
They're 31-0, talking about Fort Hays State. For North Alabama, a 24-7 record. They were not the number 1 seed in their region, so they had to win 3 times just to get here.
This is a very late gelling team. They played. They are playing with only 1 returning player from last year of any significance, and the driving force behind that team is Corey Williams, the guard from Brooklyn, New York, an outstanding player, does a little bit of everything, can score, can handle the ball, just an outstanding player. And this is a team with rich tradition. They've won the Division II national championship twice before, so I don't think they're going to be intimidated by coming out here. Promises to be an outstanding game.
The winner of this game will take on California from Pennsylvania. They were the winners in the first game. It's Fort Hays State against North Alabama in the second quarterfinal game here from Louisville, Kentucky. Back with more after this. Fort Hays State and the University of North Alabama Lions in the second game of the quarterfinal day here at the Elite Eight. Jim Couch along with Bob Valvano, who is the head coach of Bellarmine College, the Division II school here in Louisville, and his team, of course, not in this tournament. This is the goal of every Division II team, of course, is to get here on this floor at this time of year.
Well, we're very excited about hosting the tournament. I feel like, in some small way, I'm part of this thing every year. It's the second year that we've hosted it here in Louisville, Bellarmine College as the host institution, and we are very, very excited about what has happened in the short time it's been here. Last year was the second highest attendance in the history of the tournament. It had been played in Springfield, Massachusetts for many years before it's moved here, and we have the rights to this, I believe, for 4 more years after this, so we're very, very excited about it. I think the city has really responded. We should probably tell the folks back out there in Fort Hays, we are in the middle of a blizzard here today, so unfortunately I think that may have held down a little bit of the walk-up crowd, but it's still a nice crowd and a good atmosphere, and promises to be a great game.
Let's talk about the coaches for Fort Hays. Gary Garner, the fellow who coached in Division I at Drake for 7 years, started his career at Missouri Southern, now here is in his 5th year, and what a job he's done. He's won over 100 games at Fort Hays and brings an undefeated number 1 ranked team into this. That's got to mean a lot of pressure on him.
Well, that's the thing you wonder about. You know, you at this time of year, obviously, everybody wants to be playing their best basketball, and you really want to be focused, and there's no question that this is an outstanding basketball team, but you wonder if the pressure of the streak will only add to the pressure of the tournament that's already built in. Fort Hays, of course, for a long time in NAIA, very, very strong NAIA school, now making the move to Division II and doing a great job there. You wonder if the streak will play on the players' minds. We'll just have to find out. Watch early for the composure and the execution, see how well this team responds to the pressure of the tournament and the winning streak.
Gary Elliott is the head coach of the Lions of North Alabama. He has coached a Division II champion in '91.
Well, as I said, North Alabama has a rich tradition. They certainly have played Division II longer than Fort Hays, but as we're standing here looking at the banners of the national champions, you see North Alabama up there in 1979 and 91. This has been a team with an outstanding basketball history.
We have starting lineups coming up after this. Let's take a look now at the starting lineup. First of all, for the number 1 ranked and undefeated Fort Hays State University Tigers, here's their starting lineup. Chad Kramer and Jeff Eck are the guards. Sherick Simpson at the forward, along with Anthony Pope, and their big go-to guy in the middle, Bob, is Alonzo Zoe Goldston.
Yeah, this, as I said, is a team that looks at Goldston as Mr. Inside and Jeff Eck as Mr. Outside, but they are certainly multi-dimensional. Sherick Simpson averages in double figures, as does Anthony Pope, and Chad Kramer, his assist-to-turnover ratio is just what you want want for a point guard. So they really have all the tools.
Golston averaging over 20 a game and Eck over 18 a game. For North Alabama and their 24-7 record, you see Corey Williams and Desmond Greer are their guards. Harris Lender, the only returning starter on this club, is in the middle, and then there's Bobby Davis and Carlos Smith. Corey Williams, even though he had a great year, is having an even better postseason, averaging over 25 a game.
Well, as we talked about, with the exception of Harris Lender, this team is predominantly all new players. And Corey Williams, I think, like all the new players, took a while to get into a rhythm and get comfortable. But as the year's gone on, he's playing outstanding ball, and he really drives this team. Averages almost 19 points a game. But much like Fort Hays, 4 players in double figures, and they have a good inside-outside attack as well.
All right, these teams just about ready to jump center. You can see that North Alabama is in their dark purple, and Fort Hays State in their home whites. They will be the home team if they had a scoreboard that said home visitor. Here at the Commonwealth Convention Center, second year that this tournament has been held, the Elite Eight in Louisville, and we are ready to tip things off. Harris Lender will jump center, and that ball is controlled by North Alabama, and Corey Williams walked the ball into the front court.
Fort Hays in straight man-to-man. We'll see what kind of an attack North Alabama throws. They go inside right away.
They go inside, and the ball's into the hands of Bobby Davis, and a travel violation was called. They went right inside and got the ball down on the low block.
As I said, especially when you're in the first round, you'll see, I think, some turnovers early out of jitters and nerves, but you're trying to see what the teams are trying to establish, and they were definitely trying to pound it inside.
These two teams have never played one another, ever in a tournament game, never in a regular season game, and of course, Fort Hays was an NAIA school for a long time and won back-to-back titles in the mid-'80s. With the ball on the wing is Ed Harris. Now a lob inside. They give it to Lender. 5 feet, Harris Lender. Pardon me. Alonzo Golston.
Beautiful, simple little square up and jump shot. And I'll tell you what, that may look very simple, but you can really appreciate a fundamentally sound big man, and that was a very fundamental and solid move. A nice start for Fort Hays.
Corey Williams with the ball. He averages 18.9 during the regular season, but over 25 during the 5 games of the postseason for North Alabama Lions. A drive on the baseline, as Lender tried to take the baseline, and he lost the ball, and 2 players down for Fort Hays. They lead 2-0 with the ball. Opening moments of this first-round game. Inside again they go. Simpson with it. Now back outside. The shot by Anthony Pope is off the rim. Drive down the lane, and now a kick out. This is Greer. Shot didn't draw iron. Weak side rebound putback is no good. That was Carlos Smith who got the board and the putback, and he draws the foul.
Jimmy, I think that North Alabama is really showing a little bit more jitter early. I think they're somewhat aware of the fact that Fort Hays is undefeated. You see they're trying to pound the ball inside. That time they made a good strong move. Carlos Smith draws the foul, but if you watch, the ball has slipped through some people's hands. They've been close to a number of turnovers. They made a turnover on the first possession as well as the second. I think that they're really trying to almost over-establish the fact that we're going to compete with this undefeated team and make a statement early. We'll see. As I said, Fort Hays looks much more comfortable in the very first minutes of the game.
Golston was charged with a foul, and Smith makes both free throws. No press at this point by North Alabama. 2-2 game, and we played a minute and a half. The winner will play the first semifinal game tomorrow at 7 Eastern time. Spin move down low. That was Golston, missed it twice, and a tie-up and alternating possession will go to Fort Hays. Golston had a good look, Bob, at that first shot. He's really just been a force. We haven't even played 2 minutes, and he's made his presence felt. A nice move, got his own rebound, put that right back up, and then forced the tie-up to get his team the ball back on the alternate possession. Kramer gets the ball in, and Fort Hays will reset. Fort Hays University Tigers, 31-0, and on the sideline, out of bounds. With the dribble over there was Jeff Eck. And I'm not sure if that was pressure as how he lost that ball, or he just simply lost the dribble. 2 minutes gone here in the first half. 2-2 game. This is Desmond Greer on the drive on the baseline. Shot no good, and he will draw the foul and go to the line. Well, again, you can look at this 2 different ways. I think North Alabama are trying early to make a statement that they're going to go inside, going to get to the foul line. Simple crossover move. Desmond Greer, junior out of Dallas, Texas, makes a nice crossover move, goes strong to the hole, and draws the foul and goes to the line now for 2 free throws. But
I think that somewhere, obviously, to state the obvious, this game is going to require some outside shooting, and we'll be curious to see who'll step up for North Alabama and do that. They certainly have a number of guys capable of doing it, but in the early going, it has been all in the lane, post-ups and drives.
North Alabama has 4 points, all from the line. In fact, they made over 90 more free throws than their opposition this year, and they lead for the first time at 4-2. Baseline was open, and taking it for Fort Hays was Simpson. Missed the shot, but got the tip. Goldston gets the tip.
Going to have to find a way to keep Goldston off the board, or it's going to be a long day for North Alabama.
At the other end, Corey Williams gets his first basket, and it's 6-4 in favor of North Alabama. Turnaround short jump hook by Goldston was shy. And off the rebound, a steal by Fort Hays' Sherick Simpson. This is Anthony Pope, Kramer, and Sherick Simpson from 18. He didn't get it, and the rebound to Williams. Williams does a lot of rebounding and then brings the ball up the floor, Bob.
As we said, he does a little bit of everything. That's a perfect example. Defensive rebound, handle the ball in transition, and we just talked about the need for somebody to step up on the perimeter and hit the three-point shot, and guess who the man is for that? And Williams does it all.
A 5-point lead, almost a steal on the side court by Bobby Davis. They're doing a lot of anticipating on defense, aren't they?
Well, it's clear that the last couple of plays have given North Alabama some confidence. They've gotten to the free throw line, got a couple of turnovers, made the open three. Now they're feeling it a little bit, and they want to take the game to Fort Hays State. North Alabama with a good little run right here.
They lead by 5, and with the ball, North Alabama at 9-4. Bobby Davis, left-hander from 16, and it's good.
It's interesting, not only was that a good offensive move to pull Goldston away from the basket, but at the other end, they're not really fronting Goldston, and that'll enable them to keep him off the offensive board.
Alley-oop to the basket, look for Simpson. Couple of tips inside by Goldston, still didn't get it, and finally Simpson gets the 4th putback in a basket.
So much for keeping Goldston off the board. He is a force in there.
They've got some big size, talking about Fort Hays. They've broken a 7-0 run by North Alabama. Now it's an 11-6 game. Inside, maybe a travel ball was knocked away from Carlos Smith. Here come the Lions with it, down the lane, and an offensive foul will be called. Offensive on Jeff Heck.
That was a very, very good defensive play, and unfortunately, you see less and less players doing that now. Step in and take a charge. That's a very, very good play, and fights a little bit of the momentum that Fort Hays was getting right there.
15:51 to go in the first half. A break in the action. North Alabama by 5. 15:51 to go in the first half. Bob, North Alabama has drawn 3 fouls already. That's been one of their strong suits all year. Get to the line.
Well, that was a good play. With so much athleticism, the temptation very often is to block the shot. But Lender stepped in and took a charge there. That was a big play.
That shot taken from the wing by Greer, and he followed it up, and it's good. Kramer made him misdirect the shot, but following right in and getting it, Greer laid it in.
That was a set play out of the timeout. They tried to get Greer a jump shot, and he turned it into a follow layup. 13-6, a 7-point lead. Good anticipation there by Corey Williams. Knocked the ball out of bounds away from the hand of Jeff Heck. New player into the Fort Hays lineup for the first time in this game. Earl Tyson, the backup point guard, and Chad Kramer will sit down. Tyson out of Washington, D.C. This is Eck with the ball. Simpson, and out front Tyson. Left-handed shot by Pope is good. 13-8, a 5-point lead. Looked like pretty good ball movement that time on offense. Good patience, and it was a nice fake Pope made on taking the handoff and then taking it to the middle, hitting the jump shot.
Greer with it. Now out front, Harris Lender. Back to their point guard, Greer. Greer with a shot for 3, and it's good.
Well, these teams have come out attacking each other after a minute or two of getting the jitters out. The offensive play at both ends has really picked up. That was a fine move by Greer.
And that's the largest lead of the game by either side. They gave him a 2 as opposed to a 3. Must have been right near the line. It's 15-8, a 7-point lead.
That seems to be the way they've decided to defend Goldston has stayed between him and the basket, which, as I said, should help keep him off the offensive glass. But if he can turn and make that baby hook, he's going to have that shot all night long.
And he has 6 of their 10 points, and it's 15-10. On the drive, the shot is knocked away, and here come the Tigers running on the other end. Ooh, he missed the shot inside. That was Goldston. And a tie-up down low. Tie-up with Tyson. Alternating possession will go to North Alabama.
North Alabama has made some very important hustle plays. That was one right there. Number 44, Bobby Davis, runs the length of the floor, challenges Goldston on what looked to be a dunk, and didn't foul, forced a missed shot, then they get a tie-up and they get the ball back. They've made some good hustle plays, and it's really made a difference in the early going for North Alabama.
Now Alabama walks the ball up the floor, and this is Corey Williams. They're 5 of 9 from the floor so far. Lob on the low block. Davis, good spin move, missed the shot. Ball loose, picked up by Lender, and a travel call.
Well, these teams are both very, very aggressive to the offensive glass. I'll tell you, you are every possession going to have to do your best to keep people off the boards at both ends of the floor, because they are very, very aggressive offensive rebounders at both ends. Here we watch the turnaround, and again, watch how many bodies are in the lane. Look, it looks like a rugby match in there. Bodies flying all over the place. That's the way it's going to be for 40 minutes tonight.
Fort Hays, Mark Eck, Jeff Eck's younger brother, has come into the game. There's a shot for 3 from out front by Jeff Eck. It didn't fall. And the offensive rebound to Simpson. Good give inside. Eck had the shot partially blocked and draws the foul.
One thing that I think you really appreciate in the short time we've watched is Jeff Eck, even though he's their second leading scorer, very disciplined, not 1 to 4 shots. But again, off the offensive rebound, a different player this time. Simpson off the offensive rebound makes the dish to the younger of the Eck brothers, and Mark gets a chance to go to the line for free throws. But again, an offensive rebound becomes a key part of the offensive attack for Fort Hays, as it will be all night for both teams.
Foul was called on Carlos Smith is what they have on the board, but it sure did look like Bobby Davis was the man, number 44, that was in there. And I think that is exactly what the coach over here may be talking about.
Now, I think they're talking about a three-point goal earlier, the one that you mentioned. We haven't had in fact, they just changed the score. North Alabama now leads at 16-10. The shot that you alluded to earlier by Greer that we thought they gave him 2. One of the officials did, in fact, signal a 3, and it's been changed. So that corrected score now is 16-10, North Alabama in front.
Now the free throw by Mark Eck is good, his first point, and it's 16-11. Free throw good by Eck, an 82% free throw shooter. As a team, 69% from the stripe for Fort Hays. 16-12, a 4-point game in favor of North Alabama. 13-14 to go here in the first half. And the Lions now with the ball. This is Greer. Out front, John Easley, who has entered the game for North Alabama. Gets the ball screen, that's Greer. Down the lane, tried to kick it to the wing. Does get it off from the wing to Carlos Smith. His shot no good, and the rebound into the hands of Goldston. Looked like he was going to almost chip it in for North Alabama. His hand was way up there.
Fort Hays has to feel good about some things we'll talk about in a minute. They're only down 4, and frankly, I think a lot of things have gone North Alabama's way early.
Lob inside, move to the basket, and a foul called. Will send Simpson to the stripe.
North Alabama really has not shown yet that they can keep Fort Hays State off the offensive backboards, number 1. They've gotten a lot of free throws, North Alabama has, and I think when Fort Hays adjusts to that, that could make a difference. Fort Hays has had an opportunity to go to the line themselves. You just saw on that play. Nice pass inside. Simpson posts up, makes the good, strong move. Looking at the game in the first little less than 8 minutes, one gets the feeling that North Alabama is going to have to make more adjustments than Fort Hays right now, most notably keeping Fort Hays off the offensive backboards. Fort Hays can just stop fouling and putting them on the free throw line. I think they've forced more bad shots at the other end than North Alabama's done to them. So I think really Fort Hays has had the better of the play.
Davis was charged with the foul, and Sherick Simpson, a 6'6 junior of Elgin, Illinois, near Chicago, missed the first and gets the second free throw. He has 3 points, and it's a 3-point game, 16-13 in favor of North Alabama.
North Alabama's got to get a good look at the offensive end. They've struggled a little bit the last couple of possessions.
New player into the game is Sherrod Jackson for North Alabama. Shot partially blocked, picked up by the Tigers. That's for 3. That one came up short by Jeff Eck, and a put back inside by the big man.
Those two possessions typify what I'm talking about. A blocked shot at one end and an offensive rebound at the other, and here's another steal.
And a strip of the ball. That's stripped by Earl Tyson, and the dunk by Simpson.
The dunk by Simpson while Tyson took bows for him. I like that. Tyson beat him down the floor and took a bow for him. That was very nice. Momentum has clearly shifted, as I thought it might. Fort Hays really has had the better of the play.
Well, it's been a 9-0 run for Fort Hays. They trailed 16-8. They now lead 17-16. For three straight away, and Corey Williams quiets the crowd.
And takes a look at a disdainful look at the crowd after he does it. That's what he's going to have to do. When a play needs to be made for his ball club, he's going to clearly be the go-to guy, and he was right there.
19-17 in favor of North Alabama. Lob inside to Golston. He was under the basket. He kicks it out into the corner. That shot for three is good. And that one comes from Jeff Eck, his first basket of this game. 20-19, Fort Hays. These two teams trade the lead. Well, big Fort Hays contingent here, Bob.
When you're undefeated and the #1 ranked team in the country, some people are going to come watch you play, and they force another turnover right there. So with the exception of the Corey Williams three-pointer, Fort Hays' defense has really taken North Alabama out of their offensive rhythm. And now that Jeff Eck has stepped up and knocked down a jumper, now they got the inside-outside thing working. This next run could be very big for Fort Hays.
1 point lead by Fort Hays, 11:03 to go here in the first half. With a 1 point lead, Fort Hays has the ball out of bounds, and their starting point guard, Chad Kramer, back into the game. North Alabama going to press now, Bob.
Well, I think they sensed what I sensed, and that is the momentum is clearly shifting. They've got to do something to try and get it back. I think Fort Hays is poised to make a run.
Jeff Eck on the dribble. This is Kramer, and now a lob inside. Into the corner to Eck. Get it to Golston on the right baseline. He'll pull up and shoot over his defender, miss the shot, and the rebound grabbed by Harris Lender.
Important rebound for Lender. They needed to establish a defensive backboard presence, and he went and got that one very, very authoritatively.
So Jackson out front working against Kramer. Low to Williams. He got open and gets the basket.
There's their go-to guy. As I said, trying to fight Fort Hays off, who was in the midst of a run that I thought could turn the game around. But a good low post move by Williams, who's done everything so far.
He has just about half of their points. Lob inside, a mismatch. It looked like muscle-wise, and taking advantage of it easily was Golston.
Smart, experienced team, read it right away, threw it inside, and the big guy made no mistakes with it.
Williams of North Alabama and Golston of Fort Hays each have 10 points in the game. This is Williams in the lane. He's cut off by Golston. Greer from 12, and his shot is good.
North Alabama, after that timeout, has come out with a little different offensive rhythm. They got a layup from Williams and a good jump shot there by Greer.
And they lead by a point, 23-22. Past the midway point of the first half. Fort Hays gets into this game as the North Central Region champion. Beat South Dakota State to gain the Elite 8 berth. Had an all-time school record this year with 31-0.
Best defensive possession of the game by North Alabama there. That was a very good defensive possession there.
Eck missed the shot, ball loose, and it's picked up by Greer. The lob to the basket, a great defensive play as a break up by Mark Eck took a alley-oop away from North Alabama.
It's good hustle play. Both teams have made the hustle plays. As you said, Mark Eck running the floor, getting back, and breaking up what might have been an alley-oop dunk. That could have been a big momentum swing for North Alabama. That defensive possession, as I said, it's the first time I've really seen them step up, make a good stop, and then get the defensive rebound.
Jackson looks the ball into the hands of Lender. And Lender has Anthony Pope on him. Lender in the lane. Lender with a nice shot.
Tough shot there. That was good defense. Can't fault the defense.
Well, they have to get him going inside, don't they?
Well, as we've said, they're still looking for an offensive rebound. The last couple, an offensive rhythm, but the last couple of possessions, they look closer to getting that.
They're going to get Bobby Davis back into the game as North Alabama. They lead now by 3, 25-22. Kramer doesn't shoot very much. Gets the ball inside. Good left hand there by Mark Eck.
Both these teams, as we said, very versatile. Mark Eck going down. He's 6'3" guard. sometimes plays some small forward, goes down to the block, posts his man up, and makes a nice little left-handed move for the goal.
And the Tigers trail by a point. Penetration and the kick into the corner. That's the shot for three, and that is good by Greer, and he has 2 threes in the first half.
Well, now you're looking at versatility. They've had Williams, Greer, Lender, and then Greer again score. A little bit of versatility for North Alabama. As I said, I think they're getting in sync offensively.
And a 4-point lead. There's that little short hook. The short hook taken by Golston, and a foul called inside.
Well, again, that's the one thing. When you play behind Golston, you allow him to catch the ball, but if you don't then let him beat you off the dribble, you force him to shoot those turnaround jump hooks, and that takes him out of offensive rebounding position. And North Alabama clearly understanding the challenge they have on their defensive boards. Everybody had a body on a body that time, and they draw the foul coming over the back by Anthony Pope. That was a good block out. North Alabama has elevated their game since the last television timeout, played better at both ends.
And that's 4 team fouls on Fort Hays. North Alabama with the ball and a 4-point lead. This is Williams on a drive, shot it too hard, and on the weak side there to grab the ball is Jeff Eck.
That was a clear out for Williams that time, trying to give him an opportunity to go all the way to the goal, and he didn't get a very good shot off.
Earl Tyson back into the game at the point, tried to get it into the corner to Eck and was knocked away. We have an official timeout at the 7-minute 39-second mark with a score, North Alabama 28, Fort Hays 24. 4-point game. North Alabama leads, and Fort Hays has the ball out of bounds. Big telling stat we've seen so far, Bob, is the percentage from three-point land.
North Alabama on fire of late, 4 for 6 from behind the arc. Fort Hays only 1 for 5.
Tigers with the ball. Nice drive to the basket there by Mark Eck, who has 6 points.
He's tough with that left-handed player going to the basket, and he finishes it when he gets an opportunity down low. It's the second good low post move he's made.
Played a year of Division I ball at Lamar University. And he's from Wichita, Kansas. It makes it a 2-point game, 28-26. This is Lender a long way from the basket for North Alabama. Shot for 3, short, and there's Mark Eck to grab the rebound. You wouldn't think Lender plays well away from the basket, but actually a pretty good 3-point shooter. He made over 30 of those baskets this year. Chance now for Fort Hays to regain the lead. Shot for 3 is good, and that is Anthony Pope.
Out of the last timeout, when I thought Fort Hays might get it going, North Alabama got it going. Out of this timeout, Fort Hays has clearly taken the initiative, 5 straight points.
And a 1-point lead. This is Lender, a line drive to his second basket of the game. Boy, this one's gone back and forth. 30-29 now.
It's been a good game. Both teams getting more comfortable offensively and seeing a lot of different weapons.
And the winner, of course, will play California of Pennsylvania as they defeated Alabama A&M earlier. Ooh, open inside, but not drawing iron on that was Earl Tyson.
He should have just brought that down and laid it in. He really didn't need to turn that into an alley-oop play.
Williams cut off by Tyson, who will draw the foul.
He knows it. Tyson turns to his teammate, says, my fault. I think he was somewhat surprised he was so open. Both teams have been fighting for every inch, and now we come down the other end, and in the transition, a good take to the hole by Williams. As we said, he's very versatile, and he draws the foul. This is a kid who has made some three-pointers, has posted up low, has made some good passes, and now we see him on the drive drawing a foul. He has been a very, very effective player, as you pointed out, Jim, especially as the season has progressed. And if Fort Hays is going to win this basketball game, they're going to have to figure out something to do with Corey Williams. He's a very, very dangerous player.
He has 11 points. He made the first free throw. And he's now the leading scorer, along with Desmond Greer, for North Alabama in the game with a dozen. They make a couple of substitutions. Carlos Smith comes in, and also entering the game is Ed Harris, a 6'1" junior out of Buffalo, New York, for North Alabama, his first action. 6:05 to go, 3-point lead, and now a travel call. Travel call against Fort Hays.
That's funny. As the last time out, I had it backwards. I thought Fort Hays would make a run, and North Alabama did. Fort Hays came out of this timeout on fire, but now Corey Williams has taken the initiative back. Things are going in North Alabama's way.
Williams' initial shot there was partially tipped by Earl Tyson, and Williams wanted a foul. He's looking over at the official.
Well, those are the breaks, though. It was a block shot, and unfortunately fell right into their hand. Then they missed that, tipped out of bounds, and they get it back. So North Alabama now, some things falling their way. This game has clearly, as you said, Jim, gone back and forth.
32-29, North Alabama leads. It's funny that they have Williams, Bob, take the ball out of bounds. He's clearly their biggest offensive threat, yet he takes the ball out of bounds on the out-of-bounds
Well,
play.
he is clearly their best passer as well, and so they try and get him to trigger the play and then run him off a screen and get the ball back to him. But a turnover there, and now Fort Hays with a chance to tie with a three-pointer.
5:40 to go here in the first half. Simpson with the ball. Now on the wing it goes. That was Tyson. Back out front, Anthony Pope. In the lane, Keister. Keister's shot tipped away and out of bounds.
Well, this will be an important stretch for Fort Hays, playing without the big man, Alonzo Goldston. And when they throw that ball inside to Goldston, he usually gets to the line or gets the shot off. This time, good weak side help defense by Ed Harris. He comes over and blocks the shot out of bounds. They're still going to need an inside presence, and as we talk about that, Goldston now comes back in the ballgame for Fort Hays.
A difference in muscle-wise. Keister 210 and Goldston 240. Weak side rebound. The shot on the putback by Simpson didn't go, and a foul in the lane.
Well, thank you, Alonzo. He gave us a vivid example of what we were talking about. He comes right off the bench. They get a good look at the three from Mark Eck. Doesn't go down. Offensive rebound, and to top that off, a foul. And that has been all game what Goldston has done. He's created havoc on the offensive boards. And as I said, I'm not sure North Alabama, like anybody else, could figure out what to do with him. He's had a great season, but they're going to have to figure out some way to keep him off the offensive boards.
Foul was called on Davis. Fort Hays gets the ball in from the baseline. Goldston on a move. There's that hook, and that's a good shot.
He's a good player. As he read the defense, you could see his eyes. Nobody came to help. Took the little jump hook and put it down. He's a very, very fine, fundamental post player.
It's the Tigers within a point. Inside, Williams tied up. He's on the floor. Alternating possession will belong to Fort Hays. The tie-up was by Tyson. He tied up Williams. And just inside the 5-minute mark, Fort Hays has an opportunity to regain the lead.
Obviously, this part of the country, we don't get a chance to see some of the players from the other regions. First chance I've had to see Alonzo Goldston, and you just have to be impressed, not only as a physical talent, but an intelligent player. I mean, he makes perfect reads down in there. That last play, a perfect example. Took his time, read the defense, and finished it.
Starting without the ball that time was Simpson. Simpson to the basket. He's cut off. Good kick out. That shot was an air ball. The shot taken by Pope, and coming down with it, North Alabama. On the dribble, Ed Harris. Carlos Smith. Now Lender for three. It rattled in and out, and Williams grabbed the baseline rebound.
Well, that's a potent weapon when you're that big and you can shoot the three, and Lender can definitely do that.
Williams working on Eck. That's Mark Eck. Inside, in and out, didn't fall. Rebound Williams, but he's on the baseline, out of bounds. Ball will go over to Fort Hays.
He is the stereotypical selling popcorn at halftime guy, because he's done everything. Took it down on the isolation, missed the shot, almost got an offensive rebound and a stick back. As you pointed out already, he's the trigger man on out-of-bounds plays. He shoots the three. He is Mr. Everything for this basketball team, and Corey Williams having a good game.
Here comes Earl Tyson now. He played junior college ball at Indian Hills in Iowa. He's at the point for Fort Hays with Kramer sitting down. Get it inside. Goldston bobbled it near his knees, and it went out of bounds.
I think he's a little frustrated because I think he thought he had possession, not a good passing angle, and it forced them to give away an opportunity where they could have scored.
At the 3:58 mark left in half number one, it's North Alabama by 1 point. Tigers down by a point. North Alabama with the ball. Rebounding has been pretty even, Bob, but the offensive boards by Fort Hays has been a difference.
That's really kept them in the game, actually. They have 11 offensive rebounds, 10 second chance points, only 4 for North Alabama. So Fort Hays really dominating the offensive boards.
And the Lions with the ball. Lender near midcourt, almost stripped of the ball by Tyson. Get it into the corner, a shot for three, and he's going to draw the foul. Taking the shot was Ed Harris. Drawing the foul over there, that was Jeff Eck. And he'll get 3 free throws, Will Harris.
The game has gotten a little bit more physical in the last few minutes, a lot more bumping, cutters going down the lane, even in transition. I don't think it's gotten chippy or dirty, but the players are definitely banging bodies in there. And I think, to state the obvious, this 3.5 minutes before we get to halftime, very, very important. You want to go in the locker room with some sense of momentum, some sense of control of the game. North Alabama with a chance to extend their lead here is Ed Harris on the free throw line.
Makes it a 2-point game. Now a 3-point game as he gets his first couple of points of this contest. North Alabama has not missed from the line yet.
There you go. You did it, Jimmy.
6 of 7 from the strike. The ball went out of bounds, and it was last touched inside by Carlos Smith of North Alabama.
The infamous announcer's hex. You did it. You got that done.
He's 2 of 3. 34-31 in favor of North Alabama. at the 3:29 mark left in half number one. Pressure in the backcourt. Fort Hays breaks set.
Goldston working very, very hard to get the basketball. He wants it down in there.
Mark Eck and now Tyson. Here's Goldston on the baseline. And he was able to get that shot over Sherrod Jackson with a big mismatch height-wise.
You like when your big man demands the ball, and that's what he did on that play. Just insisted they throw it in there, and then he finished it.
And he's the leading scorer in the game with 14 points, averaging 20.5 per game this year. 1-point game now. The Lions of North Alabama lead 34-33. Inside and to the basket is Harris Lender with his 6th point of the game.
Echo my comments a moment ago. Lender demanded the ball and finished it. Big kids from both teams stepping up and getting the plays done.
36-33. Coming up at halftime, Bob will have an interview with Dan Bonner. His national championship game, of course, will be aired by CBS on Saturday. Dan Bonner will do the play-by-play, and you'll have a chance to talk with him.
Goldston not only working hard to get it inside, but give his teammates credit. They found different angles to get the ball in there.
That shot was changed in its direction as Jackson went up board inside and out with the ball of the Tigers. Down by a point with the ball and a chance to take the lead. Again inside to Goldston. Back out to Marquette. Goldston on the baseline, lost it. He tried to dribble around his defender, and that was John Easley, and he ran out of real estate on the baseline.
Well, as the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and they scored twice, throwing the ball down in there. Went to the well one more time, and unfortunately, as you said, as he started his spin move, just lost it out of bounds. But again, Goldston demonstrates great decision-making. That was the right move to make, just unfortunately couldn't finish it. But I think he made the right read, made the right decision taking it off the dribble.
Here's Lender between the circle. Straight away easily to the basket, ran into traffic, lost the ball. Lender had it for a moment, knocked out of his hands inside by Simpson.
Just ran into a human wall of flesh. Did Easley? I don't know who he hit, his teammates.
Like four bodies standing across it.
Ran into over 1,000 pounds of players, and clearly not going to get that shot off.
Williams looks to get it in, does get it in to Carlos Smith. And now Greer will set things up. 10 on the shot clock. And a minute and a half in the first half. With 3 and an air ball. I don't know if Eck got a hand on that or not.
Not a good decision. Lender wanted the ball. I think Greer decided he was going to take that shot probably a little prematurely.
Jeff Eck, whistle away from the ball as Eck had it on the right sideline. And a whistle and a foul called inside. They're going to call a push-off on Carlos Smith of North Alabama.
Remarkably, and to North Alabama's credit, only their 4th team foul, despite the fact they've had to defend some very physical play in the low post and some outstanding offensive rebounding. Only their 4th team foul. That certainly is a huge asset, not only keeping the opponents from going to the line for the one-on-one, but keeping your players out of foul trouble.
And Sherrod Jackson is re-entered for North Alabama. This is Jeff Eck, who missed the 3. Here come the Lions running on the other end. Williams on a break and an offensive foul. Offensive foul as Tyson stepped in front and took the charge.
Good hustle play by Fort Hays. Eck misses the jumper. Eck was actually the first one down defensively, and then Tyson raced and made it so that he was back defensively as well, established position, and takes the offensive foul. That's a big play.
Boy, it's hard to draw the charge like that when both guys are moving.
It was a great hustle play, and I'll tell you, Fort Hays really wants to get Eck going. Jeff has had a hard time shooting the ball, and there's a bad turnover.
Well, Mark Eck tried to alley-oop it to Goldston, but the pass was behind him and sailed out of bounds. 1 minute to go in the first half. North Alabama leads by a point. And the Lions have the basketball in the front court. This is Williams. Tyson took it away. Earl Tyson took it away. Ahead to Jeff Eck. Missed the shot. Goldston follow. It did not fall, and he draws the foul.
Well, as you'd expect when the national championship's on the line, there's tremendous hustle by both teams, but you really have to tip your hat to some of the hustle plays. Tyson not only started that play with a great defensive play, delivered the ball nicely to Eck. He couldn't quite get it. Goldston runs the length of the floor, almost scores on the follow. But again, North Alabama with a hustle play won't concede anything, takes the foul, and makes them earn it from the free throw line. Both teams making the hustle plays. And there you go. The foul saves 1 point for their team. Good hustle by John Easley, getting back, taking the foul, forcing Goldston to go to the line. He misses the first free throw.
Olsen is a 65% free throw shooter. He connects on the second. He's the leading scorer in the game with 17 points. We have 42 0.6 seconds to go in the half. Then Golston will leave for you would think the bulk of this first half is Jeremy Keister out of Garden City, Kansas, comes into the contest. 36 all with 35 seconds to go in the half. And this is Greer.
Really overplaying Williams, trying to keep him from getting the ball. Is Tyson.
7-second differential. Out front, this shot by Easley, no good. Ball out of bounds will belong to the purple-clad Lions of North Alabama.
Well, they have time now. The time situation is such that North Alabama can play for the last shot. Let's see if they do that.
22.9 seconds left. Shot clock is off. And Greer will bring it out and set things up for North Alabama.
Let's keep our eye on Williams. Williams trying to get the ball, obviously, and he does.
He has Tyson on him.
Probably go 1-4 and let him just try and create something off the dribble.
10 seconds. You can see the clock in the lower right corner of your screen.
Good defense.
That was Tyson who broke it up as Williams went up for the shot. There's 1/10 of a second left.
Bad mistake there. 6 fouls will put them on the line now with their 7th foul. They had 2/10 of a second to go 80 feet. Bad enough you didn't get the last shot off, but then to compound it, commit the foul, really not a good decision there.
And you talked about the job that Tyson has done on Williams, and he did it there again as Williams went for the last shot.
Did a terrific job, clean steal, and then Williams compounded his error. He couldn't get the shot off, just should have conceded that he was beaten, but made it worse out of frustration, committed the foul, and it sends Keister to the line, and he's going to make him pay for it.
Keister averaging just under 5 points a game. Pretty good free throw shooter at 72%. Gives Fort Hays the lead by 1. 37-36. He misses the second, and we are at halftime. Very competitive first half in the second quarterfinal game of the NCAA Division II Elite 8, the Commonwealth Convention Center in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. Our halftime score, Fort Hays 37, North Alabama 36.
We're back here at the Commonwealth Convention Center in Louisville, Kentucky. We're at halftime. Fort Hays State holds a 1-point lead over North Alabama, 37-36. Bob Valvano here, and we're joined, our very special guest from CBS Sports. CBS, of course, will be covering the game nationally, the national championship game Saturday. We're delighted to have Dan Bonner with us. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Well, it's nice to be here, Bob. It's always nice to be invited.
So give us some of your impressions. This is the first opportunity you've had to work in Elite 8. You and Bill McAtee, I guess, will be doing the game on Saturday. You saw the first game and now half of this game. Give us some of your impressions about this game and as well as the level of play you've seen so far.
Well, I'm really impressed with the level of play. The kids can obviously get up and down. There's been a couple of kids who've had big games. Robert Jones for California, Pennsylvania in the first game had a big first half, and the Goldston young man is having a big first half today. So I've seen a couple of good big guys, and I'm looking forward. The Eck kid hasn't shot the ball quite as well as his numbers would indicate, but there's been some young fellas who can shoot the ball. Corey Williams can certainly.
Yeah, what's neat is that all you got to do is watch a half, and you really can see who the marquee players are. Corey Williams, obviously the go-to guy for North Alabama, and when you look at this and the inside-out combination of Goldston and Eck, but neither team is just a one-trick pony. They both have 4, 5, 6 guys that can hurt you.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that has impressed me is that both of the games that I've seen, the Alabama A&M and California game, there were a number of guys on that team who could score, who could hurt you on both of the teams, and it looks like that's the way it is here today. It'll be interesting in the second half. I think that they were devoting so much time to preventing Fort Hays State from getting the outside shots. Goldston had a big game, but I noticed as the half wore on, North Alabama started to drop closely inside, so maybe we'll see some three-point shooting.
Well, it was a very entertaining game, and speaking of entertaining games, you covered some great games just out at the West Regional, I guess, in Tempe, Arizona, and give us some of your thoughts about that regional and the brackets in general. Of course, CBS, once again, exclusively carrying the NCAA tournament. Tell us a little bit about the West Regional and the whole bracket.
Well, that's always fun for me to do. It's that's great basketball out in the sub-region we had out in Tempe. Kansas and Arizona were out there, and they were very impressive. I was extremely impressed with both of those teams, and they'll play on Friday. And I think that'll be a great game. Arizona really surprised me. I hadn't had a chance to see them very much this year. I saw them, of course, on television in the preseason NIT, and they looked pretty good then, but I was really impressed with their combination of strength and speed, and I think they'll give Kansas all Kansas can handle. It's on the other side of the bracket. You know, it'll be interesting. Syracuse and Georgia coming from that part of the bracket, and I think that will make for entertaining games. Although, to be perfectly frank about it, I've seen both of those teams, and I think either Kansas or Arizona are better than they are.
Give us we've only got about a half a minute before we go to break. Your Final Four, you think Kansas will come out of that bracket, or Arizona? Or
I think Arizona will.
Do you?
I think the winner of that game will come out of that bracket, and I like UConn, I like Kentucky, and I like UMass. And to win it all, I actually like the Minutemen.
Do you really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got an Italian coach. That's all that matters. Calipari, as long as we got Paisan doing that. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us. We'll look forward to hearing you on Saturday for the national championship game.
Okay, it's always nice to know somebody's watching.
Yeah, we'll be watching. Hey, very high ratings on that game. We already know that. We're going to take a short time out, then we'll be back here at the Commonwealth Convention Center.
Halftime score, Fort Hays leads by a point, 37-36 over North Alabama here in the second quarterfinal game of the Elite Eight NCAA tournament here in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. Bob, let's take a look at the highlights, some highlights on each side of this first half, and we'll start with the North Alabama team.
Well, they've really had some versatility. Certainly we expected Corey Williams to make some good plays, and here he is pulling up and hitting a three-point shot. He's also posted up and taken the ball to the basket, but both these teams are multi-dimensional, and here you see a good three-point shot by Desmond Greer, and he's a capable shooter. In fact, he's taken a couple of really deep ones. And then Harris Lender has made some difficult shots. Here was a beautiful move going to his left, pulling up in the lane. And as you pointed out during the first half, Jimmy, for a big kid, he really shoots the ball well. He can go out to the three-point line and knock it down. On the other end, that was the key, I think, for Fort Hays, the defensive effort by Tyson, who made that steal. He did a good job on Williams. Here it leads to a dunk. Going to the basket and finishing the play is Sherick Simpson. But really, Tyson, of course, the guy who set that up. The key for Fort Hays has been the inside play. This is a man in there. Goldston has just done everything. Going to the offensive board. There you see him make a baby hook. This play, he just demanded the ball, delivered nicely to him by Tyson on the bounce pass, and when he gets it down in there, he knows what to do with it. He's going to finish it. Look at the halftime stats. I think what is absolutely key is you can't really tell from this. Fort Hays with 21 rebounds to 20 for North Alabama, but of those 21 rebounds, 12 have been on the offensive board, and without that, frankly, North Alabama very much could be in the lead in this ballgame instead of down one. What I think you've got to look for Fort Hays is an improvement in that 2-for-7 three-point shooting. They're clearly capable of shooting the ball better from the perimeter than they have. Both the X, especially Jeff Eck, really hasn't got it going from the perimeter. North Alabama shooting fine from the three-point line. Going to have to do a job on their defensive backboards and cut the turnovers down a little bit. 12 at halftime, a little bit too many.
Now, Bob, this Fort Hays team does remind me in a certain degree of your team. You rely a lot on the outside shooting the three, but you also have the big, strong man inside as well, like they do.
Yeah, for the viewers out there in Kansas who would know our players, our inside player, a kid named Steve Mercer, was first team all-conference, and much like Goldston, if you throw it to him on the block, he's going to finish it and know what to do with it. I think as Dan Vonner pointed out at halftime, I think he was getting the ball very easily because North Alabama was so concerned with the perimeter game, and that is what you want. You want him to come and extend so you can throw it in and get easy buckets. But as the half extended and they started to collapse a little bit more on Goldston, you really need the outside guys then to step up and knock down the jumper. And as I said, so far, Fort Hays has only connected on 2 3-point shots. If they can improve that in the second half and continue to get the good play inside by Goldston, this 1-point lead could be appreciably bigger.
You know, we talked earlier about the contrast of this game. North Alabama unranked, not the #1 seed in their region, yet they come out of the South Central region, the champion. They have to play 3 games to get here. The #1 ranked team, Fort Hays, comes into this game, #1 ranked in the country. Everybody looking at them, and yet you couldn't tell really the difference in the two styles that much in the first half, could you?
Well, you know, it's when you look at this tournament, you've got arguably, you know, the top 8 teams in the country. You can almost take the rankings out because these are teams that aren't doing it with voting. They've done it on the floor. They've gone and won their regionals, and as you pointed out, even though North Alabama had to get here the hard way and win 3 games to get in, sometimes that works in your favor. You get a little bit of momentum. You start feeling every time they throw the ball up, you're going to find a way to win the basketball game. And if I'm North Alabama right now, down 1 point to the #1 ranked team in the country, you got to feel pretty good about that. So this is clearly a game that can go either way. But even though there are quote-unquote upsets, you know, when you're dealing with teams of this caliber on any given day, even though it's a cliche, any one of these teams can win. It's a very strong field, and today's game is a perfect example of that.
A couple of quarterfinal games later on this evening as well. 4 other teams will play. We have Virginia Union will take on St. Rose in the first game of the evening session, and then Cal Bakersfield against Northern Kentucky out of the Great Lakes region, a team that you know a little bit about.
Well, Northern Kentucky from our conference. Our conference has produced the national champion last year in University of Southern Indiana. Northern Kentucky had to beat them to get out of the region. So that's why I say when you look at this bracket, you could make a case for any one of these teams winning the national championship, and that makes for exciting basketball. Certainly, you got a team that's undefeated, ranked number 1. They have to be at the top of the list, but it's not going to be a cakewalk for anybody.
Our halftime score, Fort Hays 37 and North Alabama 36. We'll come back with a second half tip-off after this.
PD Boosters for bringing you today's game.
1-point game here at halftime, and the Tigers lead the Lions in this game. Let's take a look at the unofficial leading scorers in this contest and start with the leaders. Fort Hays, they have 1 player in double figures, Bob. That's Alonzo Golston with 17, but a good supporting cast of 4 or 5 other guys who have scored.
Well, especially the younger of the 2 Eck brothers. Mark Eck came off the bench, made a couple of good post-up moves and scored. But I think what you're seeing there is what we talked about at halftime, that the extension of the defense on the perimeter shooters allowed Golston to get the ball, and as they started to factor down in on him, the perimeter guys really weren't able to step up. I would think in the second half you're going to need Jeff Eck to step up. He was only 1 for 6 in the first half, and clearly he's one of the outstanding shooters in the ballgame. He's going to have to step up and make some jump shots.
Tigers made 2 threes in the first half, averaging almost 9 per game this year. For North Alabama, they have 2 players with a dozen, Desmond Greer and Corey Williams. A couple of points for Carlos Smith, a basket for Bobby Davis, 6 for the inside man, Harris Linder.
Greer is the key there. I think Williams, you can expect to get his points. Greer is going to have to continue to shoot well. 4 for 8, and he's made 2 3-pointers. He's going to need to do that in the second half.
North Alabama down by a point, gets the ball to start the second half. And they get it into Williams. Tyson, who did not start the game, starts the second half on Williams. A tremendous first half defensively. Inside with a move, and over Golston with a basket inside, Bobby Davis.
Once again, to start the half, just as they did to start the game, they look to throw it inside, take it right to the goal.
37 for Fort Hays. They trail by a point and now throw the ball away, and Williams comes up with it for North Alabama. On Tyson, down the lane with the left hand, and he got it off the glass.
He's a terrific player. You got to just give him credit for being as versatile a player as you're going to see out here. Driving, right hand, left hand, 3-pointers. Did he sell popcorn at halftime? I think he did, Jim.
He may have. 4 quick points for North Alabama to start the second half on a 3-point lead. For 3 out front. Lender cleared the rebound on the missed shot by Anthony Pope. This is Greer, who had a good first half. Good give there. Left-handed shot no good by Davis. Ball on the floor. That's Greer again.
Jimmy, I think what you're seeing is what we talked about at halftime. North Alabama, I think, went to the locker room and said, hey, we're within 1 point of the #1 ranked team in the country. This thing's going pretty well for us. Let's take it to them the start of the second half, and they've done just that.
To the tune of 6-0. Here's Eck on the baseline. Jeff Eck. They work it perimeter. They get it to the big man. Anthony Pope, now Golston on the baseline, off the side of the bankboard. Ball is loose, picked up by North Alabama. Greer for 3. Long rebound, and that one's cleared by Anthony Pope.
That was an important shot. Would have got the lead to 8 and really turned the momentum for North Alabama.
42-37, North Alabama leading. Jeff Eck with the ball. Instead of getting the shot, gets it inside in traffic, and a foul is called. They got it inside to Sherick Simpson. He draws the foul.
Good composure. I thought Fort Hays rushed maybe the first shot, but on this one you see good composure. They get the ball swung around to the weak side. Eck delivers the ball on the bounce pass, and a good spin move to the baseline by Simpson, and he'll get to the free throw. Now, that's a good way to get momentum back for your team. Get it inside, just simply physically dominate somebody on a move for the goal and draw a foul, and that's what he did. But of course, you got to finish it, and you got to make the free throws, and the first one comes out for Simpson.
Lender was charged with a foul, his first. Simpson missed the first, makes the second. 6 points for him. And a 42-38 4-point lead for North Alabama with the ball. Good fake and drive to the basket, and over Golston with a slam and a foul.
Wow. Bobby Davis, the 6'5" senior from Tallahassee, Florida, has come out at the start of the second half and decided he's going to make his presence felt. A good up fake on Goldston, puts it to the floor, only takes one dribble, goes to the goal, gets hammered, and finishes the play with the dunk. And I'll tell you what, there is no question that the momentum clearly has shifted to North Alabama, and that was really, really a play not only that could provide 3 points for his team, but makes a statement. Here you go, big fella. We're coming right after you. And that was a play you expect a senior to make, and he finishes it with the free throw.
Here's a guy who played at Cal Bakersfield last year, wants to get to the title game so he can play his old team. There's a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and a 7-point North Alabama lead equals their largest lead of the game. Golston in traffic, missed the shot. Ball is batted around. He had it. Did Golston, now loses it, and it's picked up by Bobby Davis. Williams on the sideline.
Wow,
he is out of bounds. Or did they call a timeout?
While he was in the air, he called a 20-second timeout. Corey Williams showing us everything today. Great decision-making to just use a 20-second timeout rather than turn the ball over. While he was in the air, clearly he would have had to land out of bounds. He had no place to throw the ball. And while he's in the air, he clearly calls a timeout. Here's the ball. It's sailing out of bounds. He jumps to save it. He has nowhere to throw it, as you can see. So while he's in the air, he asks for the timeout. And that's a good use of a 20-second timeout in the second half especially. And with the momentum in your favor, now they have the basketball and a chance to increase their already 7-point lead. Jim, one thing I think you're seeing at the other end, Fort Hays has to be careful of is that time Golston wanted so much to answer the dunk that he took it up 1-on-3 and probably forced the shot a little bit.
Davis had it. It was tipped out of his hands by Pope, and here come the Tigers at the other end. And is strong there.
There's still plenty of time. It's only a 5-point game. Just got to relax and play your game, and they did that there. Good defense, nice transition. They finish on the left.
45-40. Fort Hays trails by 5. Inside, and Davis wasn't looking for the pass from Williams, and a steal by Golston.
Those are the kinds of things you can't afford to do when you're playing the #1 ranked team in the country. You got the momentum. You got to make them earn it back, not give it back.
Tyson had the ball stolen, and then a foul is called. Foul call on Carlos Smith is who the official points at. It'll be his 3rd foul, the first player on either side to hit 3 fouls. Second foul is the team, second half, North Alabama.
Coach Garner calling out to Tyson, trying to make an adjustment offensively. I think a different passing angle to get the ball to Golston. Let's see. It seemed to be they want to get the ball reversed and then look for the bounce pass into the post.
Get it inside to Simpson. Now Tyson for 2, and he got it.
It's an important shot. As we talked about at halftime, they're sagging the defense on Golston. You need a perimeter shot, whether it's a 2 or a 3, and Tyson delivers right there. He's having a fine game, Jimmy.
Jeff Eck has 1 basket, 3 points in this game. He's what everyone expected would be the one that would step forward with regard to perimeter shooting, but it has not been the case. Davis inside came up a little shy there. You could see by the expression on his face he wanted the foul, didn't get the call. Spin move and a block inside. Knocked away by Davis.
Very, very impressive inside play by both teams. Very, very active, physical. Again, it goes inside and you get good. It wasn't even the weak side. It was the primary defender. Davis just stepped across, knocked it out of bounds.
On the shot clock for Fort Hays. Now in the single digits. Jeff Beck on a drive. His shot no good. High for the rebound was Lender, who had Golston blocked out nicely. Now a whistle and a foul will be called. Reach-in foul on Tyson against Williams.
You have to like the way Tyson's guarding Williams, though. He's not giving him anything. He's making him fight for every single inch that he dribbles the ball, every shot he takes. Tyson's having a fine game defensively for Fort Hays.
Give a timeout on the floor. 15:43 to go in the second half. And North Alabama leads by 3. 3-point game at halftime. North Alabama leading, 3-point game second half, North Alabama leading. And they have the basketball. Williams with Tyson guarding him, and Tyson just picked up his 2nd foul before the timeout. Against man-to-man defense. There's a pull-up 15-footer. It doesn't go. That shot taken by Carlos Smith.
Good defensive possession by Fort Hays. It all started with Earl Tyson's defense of Corey Williams. He is just hounding it.
Tyson with it. Goes straight up to Anthony Pope. Now from the right wing, a shot for three, and that's Sherick Simpson. Ties this game at 45.
You don't have to be a genius to see why this team's undefeated. When they get out of sync, it takes them very little time to get back in sync, both on offense and defense. They make adjustments very easily, and they really have a lot of guns to throw at you. That was a very impressive possession on defensive end that triggered a good look on the offensive end.
Simpson averages about 1.5 attempts from beyond the arc each game, and he made that one. They exchange steals, and now the ball is out of bounds and will belong to North Alabama.
They sound like a broken record, but great hustle plays by both teams. The initial steal by Goldston, taken back from him, and then Tyson almost stole it back a third time, finally knocked it out of bounds, and it will go over to North Alabama. But boy, both teams are doing their representative regions proud, because they are stepping up and competing for every loose ball, every possession for the entire 40 minutes. Good to see.
North Alabama with an opportunity to regain the lead. In traffic, Greer, maybe an off-balance shot, and coming out with it, here come the Tigers on the run, and it's finished off inside by Anthony Pope.
But a beautiful pass by Jeff Eck. There wasn't much room to get that through. On the run, the bounce pass, and Coach Garner senses the momentum change. Gets up and cheers and exhorts his team to make a run right here. They're in the middle of one as they've gone from 5 down to 2 ahead. Actually 7 down to 2 ahead.
Up by a point at halftime, then trailed, and now lead again by a pair. Lender with a spin move, and a blocking foul is called against Simpson, who says he was right in his face.
North Alabama does a lot of isolation. They do a lot of things to clear out and allow players to create off the dribble. The danger of that is when you're not in an offensive rhythm as they are now, sometimes it leads to some forced shots. I think you saw that from Greer. The shot he took I don't think was a good one. They might have been a little fortunate there because Lender taking a spinning move as well. If he doesn't get fouled, that would have been a difficult shot for him to make. But he does get fouled, chance to tie the ball game.
Lender, one of 2 players on this team, and we alluded to it earlier, has made over 100 free throws on the year, and he shot 74% this season from the line.
Well, in postseason play, you can't emphasize that enough. Free throw shooting very important, and North Alabama over 70%, almost 72%, and Fort Hays respectable, around 69% as a team. So these are not bad free throw shooting teams by any stretch.
And Lender ties the game at 47. 13:50 to go here in the second half. Mark Eck is now also into the game for Fort Hays. Tried to lob it inside, but too many purple jerseys there. Out come the Lions. This is Greer in a pull-up. Ball on the floor, and a travel's going to be called. That was precipitated, it appeared, because Greer was already on the floor.
Well, that's the decision the official has to make. If Greer is just laying on the floor and the rebounder lands on him and travels, it's a travel. If Greer does something to precipitate the fall, then obviously it's a foul. Greer is down. He's got a hand on his pants. You could make a case that Greer pulled him to the floor. Might have been a foul there. Might have gotten away with one that time, Desmond Greer.
And that was right in front of the Tiger bench. On a drive to the basket, it's good.
Greer takes advantage of the opportunity provided him. They got the ball back, took it to the basket, and he finished it, and North Alabama back on top, 49-47.
Greer has 16 points and is the leading scorer in the game for North Alabama. Traffic inside, and a foul is called. A hold will give Fort Hays the ball out of bounds. Well, Desmond Greer really stepped up in the sectional championship game. He had 29 points. He has 16 in this one.
He's a capable scorer. There's no question about that. He's got good range on that three-point shot.
Foul was called on Greer. That was his first. Tigers have the ball. This is Eck inside. It rolled off the rim. Mark Eck inside missed the shot. Tyson gives to Goldston, and he will go to the line.
Jimmy, you just can't emphasize it enough. The offensive rebounding of Fort Hays has really been absolutely huge in this game. You see Tyson on the drive, makes the dish inside, and there's the foul, but all that was precipitated by the offensive rebound earlier in the play off of the Eck miss. So without the offensive rebounds, frankly, this game is in North Alabama's favor by more than the 1 point it is right now, but That's a huge part of the attack of Fort Hays, and they do a great job going to the offensive glass.
Made one, missed one. It's a one-point game. North Alabama 49-48. They have the ball, and Williams will walk it into the front court and be met there by Tyson. Greer on the wing has Mark Egg guarding him. High post, and now a drop down to Williams, and a good feed inside from Davis to Corey Williams.
I was just going to say Williams had only had 2 points so far in this half. They're going to need to get him on track. Tyson's really put the clamps on him, but he found a way to get it done right there. That's going to be important.
3-point game now. The Lions by 3. Around Williams inside. Shot up no good, but a tip by Golston.
Again, the offensive rebound, that is so important. Another second chance point. That gives them 14 second chance points in the game for Fort Hays. Only 6 for North Alabama. So that 8-point margin is what's kept Fort Hays close right now.
Tigers stay within a point, 51-50. Here's Greer. He got around Mark X. Hit the floor, and a traveler's call. He tried to call a timeout, but he had already committed the violation. And again, he hit what looked like a wall of players as he drove the lane.
There's not much room to take the ball down the lane. You got good, strong athletes in there. Look, there's already 3 jerseys in the lane, and a good defensive play stepping up and stopping the advancement of the ball. Good call by the official. That's just a travel. There's really nothing else to call there. Good defensive play, though, by Fort Hays. These teams are both very, very aggressive on the defensive end. You're not going to go down the lane without somebody stepping up to challenge.
Tigers have the opportunity now to regain the lead. In the corner for 3, and it rolled in and out by Simpson. No good. He tipped it, kept it alive, and had a new 35 on the shot clock. Tyson on the baseline, off the glass, a little too hard, and there's Golston. Didn't look like he had to jump to grab that one.
4 consecutive offensive rebounds now by Fort Hays, leading to 3 baskets. That is really the difference in the game. If North Alabama could solve their defensive rebounding woes, they would really, really be probably in control of this game, but that's a big if.
17 offensive boards to 10 for North Alabama. And as Lender drove, he is fouled and will go to the line.
And needless to say, Gary Garner, the head basketball coach at Fort Hays, not pleased with that, as he raced out of the box and quickly back in. Clearly not a time for a technical foul, but they really were attacking Golston right there. Lender took it, drove it to the middle. Golston did have good defensive position. Tough call, and it'll give a chance for Lender to go to the line and regain the lead for his ball club.
Lender has a pair of free throws in the second half. Now is 3 of 3 from the stripe in the game. And we're tied again at 52.
Gary Garner still giving the officials an earful. Not very pleased about that call.
Both coaches have spent a lot of time off their chairs in this game. Gary Garner and Gary Elliott. Second free throw, Lender is good. Timeout on the floor. 11:18 left, second half. And a 1-point game. North Alabama by 1 over Fort Hays. Bob, we've talked a lot about the work inside of Alonzo Golston, who has 14 rebounds, but Simpson has done a nice job as well.
7 rebounds there, and again, not to beat it over the head, but 16 second chance points for Fort Hays, only 6 for North Alabama. That's been, frankly, the difference in the ballgame.
Tigers down by a point with the ball. Here's Golston, straight away, 15. Boy, he looked good out there.
He's got a nice touch from 15 feet away. He's having an outstanding game, 24 points right now and 14 rebounds. Golston doing it all for the Fort Hays ball club on both ends of the floor. He's done a good job defensively as well.
Back and forth, this one has gone. A 1-point game now in favor of Fort Hays. That left-handed shot up and good by Bobby Davis.
Bobby Davis must have heard what I said, because he took Golston on right there and pulled up, made that nice jump shot. And we are truly in a seesaw battle here this afternoon.
55-54, North Alabama with a lead. Kramer, who hasn't had a whole lot of playing time, he's given way to Tyson in this game. Body hit the floor. That shot up no good. Rebound, Golston again, an offensive board and a hold call. The shot went up by Simpson, was an air ball, and Golston was there to pull off his 15th rebound.
Gary Elliott just standing in front of his bench, shaking his head, because it is, again, the offensive rebound that's been the downfall for his team. The missed shot, Golston gets it. He's surrounded, clearly fouled, good call, and he'll go to the line. But you just can't say enough about the offensive rebounding. Fort Hays now with 18 offensive rebounds, only 10 to to North Alabama, and it is a tie game. And if you're Fort Hays, you really have to be a little concerned, because without that offensive rebounding advantage, this game could clearly be in the control of North Alabama. And as the favorite, you certainly don't want to rely just on your offensive rebounding. They need to get their perimeter game going a little bit. But the big man is just putting the team on his shoulder and carrying it.
Made one, missed one, ball loose, and picked up now by Sherrod Jackson, who just entered the game. Carlos Smith, who committed that foul, it was his fourth. He had to leave the contest midway point of the second half. We're tied at 55 with 10 minutes to go. This is Lender working against Simpson. Shot clock approaches single digits. It's now at 9. Williams, we haven't seen him score from outside in a long time. He missed the shot, and there's the 16th rebound by Golston. Here's Kramer with the ball, with Williams on him. That gets it inside, off balance. That shot is good.
Almost a steal from the weak side, but they managed to get it in there. And a good finish. He's having a fine ball game. You already talked about that. Simpson doing a job on the boards, and now gets his 13th point.
13 points, 7 boards for Sherick Simpson out of Elgin, Illinois. And a 2-point lead for Fort Hays. That shot for 3, a little set shot by Desmond Greer.
Well, we talked about that at halftime. He's got good range, and that was a big shot, and we said he's going to need to do that in the second half if they're going to have a chance. 7-14 now from the field for Greer, 19 points, and that is absolutely big for his basketball team today.
Gets this game back on odd even. High arching 3 by Jeff Eck, no good. Tipped around in the corner. Saved out front by the Tigers.
They just can't get a rebound. They cannot get a defensive rebound. I don't remember them getting a defensive rebound literally in the last 10 possessions.
Left-handed runner, Mark Eck, in and out. Golston, another offensive putback.
That is 20 offensive rebounds now and 18 second chance points. And the problem, if you're Gary Elliott, is you can't zone this team because they shoot so well. But I'll tell you, he needs to figure out some way to get some defensive rebounding.
Do you want to try that, however, Bob, simply because you haven't seen them that much in this game shoot the 3?
I'll tell you, it crossed my mind because they just can't get a rebound.
Now a steal, and with a 1-point lead, down the lane goes Jeff Eck with a left-handed layup.
Gotta like Jeff Eck. Plays within himself, not having a great shooting day, but he just plays within himself, takes what's there, goes and finishes that, has, I believe, what is that, his 5th point? 5 points for Jeff Eck, and the momentum has clearly changed. Listen to the crowd from Fort Hays. They sense it, and they've taken a 3-point lead.
Timeout on the floor, called by North Alabama. 7:51 to go here in the second half. Fort Hays leads 61 to 58. Well, Gary Garner's team leads by 3, and they had a nice hop in their step as they came out of that timeout. There's a block shot inside off the attempt by Bobby Davis, knocked away, and out of bounds it goes to North Alabama. That block came from the hand of Jeremy Keister.
Big defensive play. They, as you said, came out very determined to pound it inside. He made a great block. The argument here is the shot clock should not be reset. Coach Garner yelling at the officials that shot was blocked, did not hit the rim, and should not be a reset shot clock, and he's right about that, so we'll see what they run it back down to.
The official goes over now to the sideline to discuss that very fact. Keister was the fellow, Bob, who blocked the shot. Big part of the game now for North Alabama with Keister in there and Golston getting a break.
If they can defend inside with Golston on the bench, as you say, that is very, very big for this team. Let them get a little rest and fresh for the stretch.
Tigers lead by 3. North Alabama with the ball. Lender gets it inside. Shot up no good. Davis, and there's Keister with a rebound.
Well, they tried to attack him, but he was up to the task.
Anthony Pope. Too long on the 3, but a weak side rebound
for a change. Unbelievable. Is there a dead horse here? Because I'd like to beat it and just tell you over and over, offensive rebounding is the difference in the game.
And it wasn't Golston, it was Mark Eck. This is Pope again. Second try. Hey. And there's a defensive board.
Stop the game and give him the ball.
That was Davis, Bobby Davis, who cleared that defensive rebound. Approaching the 7-minute mark. Almost lost it out of bounds. Williams, Lender for 3.
Jimmy, you pointed that out in the first half. It's not the prettiest looking shot, but the big man could shoot the 3. And it's just one player after another stepping up and responding to the challenge. That time it's Harris Linder with a big three, and we're all tied.
He's their only returning starter from a year ago, and he tied this game at 61 all. Tipped away by Linder, and this is, with the ball, is Desmond Greer of North Alabama.
We'll see if the big man gets ready to come back in.
And a minute and a half since the timeout.
Well, Simpson's getting ready to come back for Fort Hays. We'll see how long they keep Goldston out.
Linder calls for it in the lane, gets it done.
He's coming back soon, I promise you that. He can't go much longer. He's not in foul trouble, Goldston, and they are taking advantage of him being out of the game.
2-point lead now for North Alabama at the 6:15 mark. Kramer with the ball out front. Marquette lost the ball on the drive, and it's picked up by North Alabama. This is Davis. Good give inside Greer, and it's broken up at the last moment by Anthony Pope and knocked out of bounds.
How many guys have we talked about making great hustle plays? There's Pope, and here's the big man coming back in. No surprise there. Goldston back in the ball game. Talk about doing everything with selling popcorn. He can run the popcorn concession stand by himself based on his performance today. 12 for 22, 17 rebounds, 27 points, and 3 steals. He's done everything at both ends.
And yet his team trailing by 2, 63-61 at the 6-minute mark. Greer kicks it out to Linder. This is Linder from 18, a little hard. Ball loose. Who's going to get it? Fort Hays comes down with the ball. That's Simpson. He has Williams on him. Tyson wide open, passed up the shot. Mark Eck, now Tyson. A lot of time on the shot clock at 18. Simpson with it. Now to Jeff Eck. And now Tyson resets it. Shot clock at single digits now at 5. North Alabama by 2. Pull-up shot. Simpson falling away. Got it to go in.
That was terrific defense there. They really played as good a defensive possession as they've played all game. But Simpson, who, as you pointed out, has had an outstanding game, gets his 15th point. None bigger than those two. Tie game.
63 all as we approach the 5-minute mark. Linder tried to force it inside, tried to get it to Davis, and a steal. Simpson on the dribble. Williams broke it up. Williams knocked it out of bounds. There are the two combatants on the floor.
Bodies flying everywhere. You won't see an easy basket for the last 4 minutes and 54 seconds of this ball game. I promise you that.
63 all. North Alabama averaging in the mid-80s point-wise. Fort Hays averaging in the mid-90s. So this is a low-scoring game for both these sides. 63 all. There's a steal and a bad pass by Tyson. Tried to force it into the big guy. And Williams with the ball. Corey Williams on the drive. Tyson on the drive commits the foul. And for Tyson, that will be his 3rd. He's done a pretty good job on Williams in this game. And really, Corey Williams with 16 points has been a quiet second half.
He's done an outstanding job. Watch Goldston come over to help. And just, he's got a future in volleyball if he wants it, because that was a spike right there. Clearly, Williams was fouled, but nonetheless, as I said, you're not going to get anything easy, and Goldston was there to be sure of that.
Williams gets the ball in out front. Sherrod Jackson. He has Mark Eck guarding him. Both Ecks in the game for Fort Hays. 63 all the score. Pull-up runner off balance by Desmond Greer.
That's going to decide the game, I think, is who makes more difficult shots, because you're not going to get anything easy. I've said that. That was a going left, fade away, knockdown, jump shot. He earned that one.
And through it all, it went in. 65-63, North Alabama. Into their money guy, and a foul on the shot. It'll be Linder who commits the personal against Goldston. When in doubt, go to the man who's done it all.
You're not going to go wrong throwing it there. Good, strong move. Davis came over to help, made sure that there was no chance at a three-point play as he blocked the shot after the foul. But this kid has had a great game, Goldston. His at the other end was the drive and the jump shot by Greer. Going to his left, comes down off bounce, maybe a little bit of a bump, maybe not enough for a foul call, but winds up on his keister there on the floor. But he earned that one, and as I said, that is going to be, I think, down the stretch for these two very, very competitive defensive teams. what decides the game is who's able to make more difficult shots and maybe make a play on the offensive glass. And if that's the case, that clearly favors Fort Hays, who has done an outstanding job on the offensive backboard.
1-point game, and now a tie, 65 all, as Golston gets his 29th point after that foul was called on Lender. 3:57 to go in the second half, all tied at 65. Inside 4 minutes to go here in this quarterfinal game. We're looking at some numbers. Golston has tied a career high in rebounds at 17. He has a season high. He really had one heck of an afternoon. This is Lender, and a kick out from behind gave the ball to Fort Hays, but now a double dribble on Golston.
That was a set play out of the timeout. They ran a pick and pop, for lack of a better term, where Williams went off the screen by Lender. He pops back out. Here we go. We'll take a look at it here. Williams went off the screen, threw it back out, and then you see the double dribble there off of the turnover. What they were trying to take advantage of on the offensive end, North Alabama, was Lender's ability to shoot the three. He faked the shot, went by on the drive, but they created the turnover. And now you're going to get a timeout as they can't get the ball back in. Everything for these last 3+ minutes is going to be absolutely a battle, including even getting the ball in bounds, as we saw right there on the baseline.
That was Corey Williams, who does take the ball out, as we talked about earlier, maybe because he's one of the heady players on this team, of course. He called the timeout. He also called the one earlier on the sideline, but it looked like he was going to lose the ball. There's 3:43 to go in the second half. The game is tied at 65. Bob, we were talking about Golston and a career-high rebounds. 36 points, a career high for points this year, 38 as his career, 36 for this year. He has 29 in this game. Boy, he's really done it all for them, and you couldn't ask for a bigger game for him to do that.
Well, let me talk both ways for Fort Hays here. A reason for you to believe they'll win the game is simply because a game that is this tightly contested very often comes down to a stick back, score off an offensive rebound, and they have been uncanny at that today. 21 offensive rebounds for Fort Hays, which has translated to 19 second chance points, only 6 for North Alabama. On the other end, with such an emphasis on Golston and pounding the ball inside, you really need somebody from the perimeter to step up and make a perimeter shot, and Fort Hays has not had that today. 3 for 14 for 21% from out by the three-point line. North Alabama 6 for 13, 46% from out by the arc. So there are two ways to look at it. It'll probably translate into one of those being a key play, a key perimeter shot or a key stick back. Fort Hays looking good in one area, could use to step it up in the other.
Fort Hays has shot 43% from three-point range this year, and as Bob alluded to, just 21% in this game. North Alabama with the ball. Game tied at 65. They work it in the paint. On a spin move, Davis got it over Golston.
That was clearly what they were looking for. They let the perimeter people screen for each other, gave Davis the opportunity to post up, and then let him take it to the goal, and he hits the nice turnaround.
2-point lead for the Lions.
Oh, battle inside with, oh my goodness. And they called an offensive foul, and that is not a good turnover for Golston. He was being battled inside legally. Defended, I thought, by Lender. Golston got a little frustrated and took his elbow and stuck it right in Lender's neck. And I saw it from here, and clearly the official couldn't miss that. You like when your big man demands the ball, but you got to have the discipline in that situation not to let it lead to a turnover.
That's 3 fouls on Golston, but more importantly, North Alabama with the ball in the 2-point lead for them. They've won the championship of the Elite Eight 2 times. The last time was 91. And there's a steal by Golston. He stepped right in front of Davis on that pass.
He's done it at both ends. We've talked about that. A huge defensive play. And the battle continues now at the other end.
The Tigers have an opportunity to tie or take the lead with a tray. Mark Eck with the ball.
Just watching the low post. Watch the battle that's going on in there.
Boy, Lender leaning all over Golston in there. On the baseline, the shot, no good, but the putback right there by the 6'9" center. And 31 points for him.
I won't say it. I'm not going to say it again. I'll just refuse to say it. 22
in the offensive rebound department. They've doubled North Alabama in that category. Tied at 67 as we approach the 2-minute mark. Lender knocks over Simpson. No whistle. Shot no good. Ball is loose. Tyson had it. And a reach-in foul going to be called. Reach-in foul going to be called against North Alabama. Stops play at 2:04. will walk to the other end for free throws.
Well, we've talked about how important offensive rebounding is going to be. You saw Fort Hays get one at their end and refuse to give one up at the other end. They clearly won that battle. Nobody has made a perimeter shot, but the third part of this equation, which we haven't talked about, is what's going to happen right here. Who's going to make their free throws? And in a game this close, that very much could decide the issue.
Earl Tyson will be attempting his first. We have a violation, a free throw lane violation against Tyson, who was on the line, and they take that attempt away and give the ball to North Alabama.
Not the kinds of things you need in close games down the stretch. And Fort Hays making it harder for themselves. The turnover by Golston, although he stole it back, and now to give away the opportunity on the free throw line. Now North Alabama with the ball back and a chance to break this tie and take the lead.
At 67 all. Time is in the lower right corner of your screen. North Alabama at 24 and 7 coming in.
Clear out for Williams.
Shot clock at single digits. Williams at the side of the glass, and Tyson came up with a board. Tyson in traffic, lost it. Golston picked it up. Shot no good, and let's see what they call.
Charge.
It's an offensive foul as Greer stood in front of the big guy. It looked like Golston tried to stop his body, and maybe I thought that Greer moved in underneath a little bit.
That's a tough call. This is where officials earn their money. This is too close to tell. Is he there? He is, but does he lean in? He's clearly there, but does he hold his principle of verticality or jump into Golston? Difficult to tell from our angle, and that is 4 fouls on Golston.
And we're at 120. 120 left in the second half, tied at 67. 4 big fouls on Golston. That ball is tipped out of bounds and last touched inside by North Alabama's Bobby Davis. Golston has to play a little bit different game now, doesn't he, in the paint?
Well, that was so much went on in those last 10 seconds there. First of all, you're finding out on the defensive end that Williams is not able to shake Tyson. They ran a clear out for him last time. He hit the corner of the backboard. So they're going to have a hard time if it's a key possession just letting him go one-on-one. Then, as you pointed out, Golston gets his 4th foul. They try and attack him. They create the turnover. Good team defense. The ball's deflected, goes off the hands of Bobby Davis, but then Coach Garner wanted them to take the ball over midcourt and call timeout and run a play from the sideline. Instead, his players, a little overeager, called the timeout, and now they'll get the ball in the backcourt. And that's not what he wanted. He wanted to run something clearly off a sideline out of bounds play. So in games that are this close, very often little things like that make a difference. So now we'll see what offensive attack Fort Hays puts in, taking the ball in their offensive backcourt and then bringing the ball back up. The other thing that you think about more in terms of the pro game than you do the college game, but I'm surprised they don't look at it more, is with 1:17 to go and a 35-second clock, if they run the shot clock down just a little bit here, Fort Hays State very easily could get 2 possessions to only 1 for University of North Alabama. The pros always look at that, who gets more possessions, going 2 for 1. If they do that right now and can get a shot off within, say, 20 seconds, unless the other team, North Alabama, comes back and shoots it very, very quickly, you know you're going to get the ball back with one last possession. So my guess is they'll try and get something off of 15 or 20 seconds. Coach Garner absolutely livid, screaming at the scorer's table, and they're screaming back at him, and I'm not sure. This one, I got to be honest, I have no idea what it's about. My guess is how many timeouts he's got left. That's the only thing I can think of.
Now, with the television timeouts, they get 3 additional timeouts. That timeout was charged to Fort Hays. Unofficially, I see them as using just the 1 at this point, with North Alabama having used 2. If that is what the discussion is about, you can see the official there with the official scorer sitting at the table.
He was absolutely livid about something or whatever it was. He came racing off the bench and started screaming at the people at the scorer's table, and obviously it's safe to say he feels he's right about whatever it is he's arguing. We're still having trouble figuring out what exactly that is. It can't be the shot clock, because they called timeout before they brought it back in. He's got a 2 on his hand, indicating, I thought, that he has 2 timeouts left, and that's what you have. So based on our unofficial stats, that should only be his first called timeout, and he should have 2 left. But we'll see when this shakes itself out. And Jimmy, this is not an insignificant thing. A tie game with 1:17 to go. You need those timeouts.
Coach Garner is just out of your picture on the left, as you can see the officials huddling, looking at the timeout situation. In a TV game, obviously you don't need to use the timeouts until the end. They all save them to the end. 2 timeouts used by North Alabama in the second half. One used by our account by Gary Garner at this 1:17 mark.
I believe he still has his 20 also. I'm not sure about that, but I believe the other 20 was used by North Alabama, but I don't think Fort Hays has called theirs. They got it straight, whatever it is.
And we're ready to play. 1:17 to go. Pressure full court put on by North Alabama, and the Tigers get the ball in. Approaching the 1-minute mark left, second half. Simpson on a drive, and a foul is called. Foul call on Bobby Davis. It will be his third. And we'll send Simpson to the line. Let's take a look at what Simpson has done this year. 68% from the stripe. He has 15 points in this game, 10 in the second half.
You can't underestimate the role this young man has played. He has, as you said, 15 points, but 9 rebounds, has been a big factor on the offensive boards, and makes a big, strong move to the goal there, but unfortunately can't get the free throw down, and we talked about that, how important free throw shooting would be. With 54 seconds remaining in the game, Fort Hays has to get the ball back, of course, but they really need a defensive stop right here.
Inside the minute mark and deadlocked at 67 with North Alabama in possession of the ball. The ball is in the hands, you figure, of the man that they want to have it. It was open for a split second. Lender had a body fall on him and will go to the line.
Jimmy, you can't emphasize enough what you pointed out earlier, how important it is that Lender is a good perimeter shooter. He's a big, strong kid, 6'6", 220, but because he's got that capable jump shot, and as you pointed out, shoots a very good percentage from the perimeter. He actually shoots a lot of three-point shots. He's shot 38%, just about 38% from the three-point line. He gives the up fake, they jump at him, and he draws the foul. Now he's got to go finish it from the free throw line.
Lender at the stripe, and he converts on the first one.
74% free throw shooter. So this is a big, strong kid who can go to the line and finish it. He's 5 for 5 right now from the free throw line.
And look at their total, 14 of 15 from the stripe in this game. And they've been over a 70% free throw shooting team this year.
He's effectively jinxed him, too. Got that done once for each team.
And Golson almost took it off the iron. Now a timeout called by Gary Garner with 28 seconds to go, and his team trailing by a point at 68-67. Well, Bob, you've been in this scenario many times, down late in the game with under 30 seconds to go. What would you anticipate he's talking about offensively here?
Well, clearly, to state the obvious, when you're in these situations, I think there's two things that pop into your head. The first one is, who do we want to make them defend first? Who's our primary guy? And clearly, all year, and certainly in this with the game he's had tonight, you've got to look at Alonzo Goldston. So you're going to have to do something where he's going to be either a threat or a factor to defend. The other thing is, how have you played during the course of the evening? If you've had one of those games where you've had a couple of guys unconscious from the perimeter, you might run a play where Goldston is the primary focus, but if you can't get it there, you knock it to a perimeter guy and let him shoot the perimeter shot. That, unfortunately, has not been the case for Fort Hays. They're only 3 for 14 from the three-point line, have not shot particularly well overall, only 42%, and so the danger of that is, if Goldston is your only option and they surround him defensively, no matter how good a player he is in there, if they've got 4 guys surrounding him, you're just not going to get it in there. You've got to have a secondary option, and that's where the important decisions are made. We'll see what the secondary and maybe even third options are on this play if they can't get the ball to Goldston where they want to. Based on the last drive that Simpson made, he certainly would be a capable opportunity, but you got to have a guy who's going to the line and can make free throws if he gets fouled on the drive, and he missed the last front end of a 1-on-1. So all those factors come in, and we'll see what Coach Garner comes up with for this last, possibly the last opportunity for Fort Hays.
Tyson gets it in. Both Eck brothers are in there. Simpson is in there. Goldston is in there as well.
They're letting Simpson go 1-on-1.
Down the lane, he drew the foul. Simpson took it to the goal and drew the foul. It'll be a 1 and bonus.
Well, that's what we talked about. He's been the guy who has been able to create as much as the Eck brothers score, they are primarily shooters, although they go to the goal. But this young man has proven his ability to go to the basket. You can see nobody else in the picture there because they were in a 1-4. And then Jackson comes across and fouls, and it will put him on the line for a 1-on-1. This will be the last time that Fort Hays has the 1-on-1. From here on out, it's 2 shots. That was the 19th foul. So very, very important free throws.
Simpson at 68% this year. And he gets the first one. He has a unique style, doesn't he? It tends to draw the opposition into the paint.
Yeah, he hesitates on the free throw, and it makes it difficult to time your rebound. That's a factor here as well. Fort Hays has been so good on the glass. If they miss this free throw, look for them to have an opportunity for a stick back.
Both free throws converted. Both converted by Simpson.
North Alabama brings it up and calls time.
By our unofficial count, that is the third timeout used by the North Alabama Lions team with 15.1 seconds to go here in the second half. 69-68 the score. Fort Hays.
Dangerous there, Jimmy. Just saw the official signal to the North Alabama bench, just as you pointed out. That is, in fact, their last timeout. We believe that they've also called their 20, so they don't have anything left. The danger in that is if they can't get the ball in bounds right now, they have nothing to fall back on. If they throw it in and it gets deflected out of bounds, they can't call timeouts or draw up a last-second play. The players are truly going to have to step up and make a play for North Alabama right now because there's no help that's going to be able to come from the bench. Once they get back on the floor with 15.1 seconds, obviously, it's all in the players' hands, no timeouts left. Now, if you look at it from Fort Hays' standpoint, their defense has to start with Corey Williams. He clearly is the guy that has done everything for North Alabama all year. And if you're Fort Hays, the one thing you got to feel about is Earl Tyson has defended him absolutely brilliantly for most of the basketball game. Williams has had his opportunity to score points. He has 16 points, but he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to shoot because Tyson has just blanketed him like a glove. The other offensive factor for North Alabama, Harris Lender, he's the guy dangerous because he can shoot from the perimeter, but strong enough to go inside. And of course, they've done a very good job isolating Bobby Davis down inside. So there are a lot of options for North Alabama, but again, no timeouts. They're going to have to get it right the first time. They don't get a do-over.
15.1 seconds to go, and Greer will trigger the inbound. It comes to Williams. Dangerously close near the midcourt stripe. Tyson on him. Williams at 8 seconds. Down the lane. Shot up. No good. Put back no good. It was blocked away. 3 seconds to go. And Jeff Egg grabbed the loose ball. Davis went up with a shot right in the paint, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you, you talk about players having to make plays. Williams again trying to create off the drive. Tyson gives him nothing, but then Bobby Davis steps up with a huge offensive rebound just as it looks like he's going to stick it in the bottom of the well. Big hand comes across the lane from number 52, Alonzo Goldston. Not only does not allow the layup, but blocks the shot cleanly, avoids getting his 5th foul, and makes a huge play. And here's where having no timeouts for North Alabama, a big factor. Because if both these free throws go down by Eck, they'll be down 3. Can't draw up a play to get a 3-point shot. Very, very big disadvantage for North Alabama.
He makes the first one. Now it's going to take a 3 to take the lead for North Alabama to avoid overtime.
Sometimes you wonder in this situation, they're better off taking a lane violation so they can get the ball out of bounds. Doesn't matter, he makes the second shot. And now they're going to call a timeout, which is interesting. Fort Hays calls timeout, which will give North Alabama a chance to draw up a last-second 3-point shot play. But obviously, Coach Garner wants to be sure no mistakes now because they clearly control the game.
And this team, North Alabama, has the people who can put the 3 up. In fact, they'll get another one into the game now. Chris Waldrop will come into the contest, a 6'5 junior out of Moulton, Alabama, who has made 19 threes this year despite limited playing time and is a 42% shooter from that range. So they're bringing an extra fellow in there who could possibly be a man who could get his hands on the basketball here late.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that you wonder about, and there are different philosophies on this, and I certainly am not espousing one over the other, but there are a lot of coaches, me included, frankly, who feel that the best play here is to foul, is to just send him to the free throw line, don't even give him a chance to get that 3-point shot off, and then get on the free throw line and make sure, frankly, keep taking lane violations if you have to, but make them make the free throw. Don't give them a chance to miss it and get the rebound. The worst thing that can happen is they make 2 free throws and you get the ball out of bounds with a 1-point lead, and all you got to do is throw it in then with no timeouts on the other end. Very unlikely that there's anything they can do. But as I said, there are a lot of coaches who will play this straight up and just feel with 3 seconds we can defend him, not get a shot. Don't want to take the chance of fouling a 3-point shooter and putting him on the line for 3 free throws. We'll see how Coach Garner plays it right here.
The Tigers lead by 3. You can see the time. Taking the ball out of bounds is Jackson. Get it to Lender. 1 second from midcourt. It didn't go. Very close was Tyson to committing a foul. He didn't do so. The shot went off the front of the rim, and Fort Hays, the Tigers, who came in ranked number 1 and undefeated, are still undefeated and now at 32-0 as they win 71-68. What about the shot by Lender at midcourt? Tyson awfully close to committing a foul.
Not only that, for all things considered, with only 3 seconds to go, I mean, that's a pretty good shot. He's a big, strong kid. He shoots the ball well from the three-point line. Obviously, anytime you're throwing it up from midcourt, there's a certain amount of luck involved, but hey, they were within inches of tying this ball game, and you got to give credit to North Alabama. Literally right till the final buzzer, this was a team that played their hearts out and had the ball in the hands of Harris Lender almost very dramatically from 50 feet away, tied the basketball game up.
71-68 is the final score. We're going to come back and hopefully talk with Gary Garner, the head coach of the Tigers, right after this.